Hi everyone. Today we are going to look at the bill information page. And essentially, that's the page that has all of the information on the bill that you're studying. So first, let's hop right in to leg.wa.gov. Here we are. And of course, in order to get to the bill information page, you need to know the bill number. Now, first I'm going to select the biennium. That is always the most important thing to do first because the numbers change every biennium, so you want to make sure you're in the right year. So I selected 23-24 biennium, and I'm going to look up Bill 1915. Now this bill, you can see, has underneath it the title of the bill, Making Financial Education Instruction a Graduation Prerequisite and a Required Component of Public Education. And that is always going to be right underneath the bill number. Right underneath that, you are going to find the sponsors of the bill. This is something that you always want to know because this is where you can tell whether the bill is sponsored by both Republicans and Democrats. Is it a bipartisan bill? These are questions that you can answer just from this bill information page. You can also see on this page that there's so many other sponsors, which means just by looking at the bill information page that this bill was pretty popular amongst legislators. Below that, you'll see whether it has a companion bill or not. Essentially, what a companion bill means that this is the House bill, that in the Senate at the same time was another bill going forward, so hoping that one of them is going to make it out of their chamber of origin. Below that, you are going to see what is called the bill history. This is going to be in chronological order of what has been happening to this bill. So you can see that on December 8th, it was pre-filed. On January 8th, it had its first reading, and it was referred to the Education Committee. From there, it had its public hearing. Executive action, that means they voted on it, was taken on January 25th. One of the things that I want to point out is next to each of these dates, there's going to be a hyperlink that'll take you to more information. If I click Majority Report, I can find out who voted yes on this bill. And you can see that actually it was everybody in this committee. I know that because there's no minority report. It was then referred out, and it made it all the way then to the other chamber, the Senate. And you can see what happened to the bill. This is why it's called the bill history. This bill was a little different than others because even though it had all this support, it actually did not pass. And you can see that here, that there's nothing in the bill history that says sent to the governor for signing. Below the bill history, you're going to see some available documents. Just like the history, these are done in chronological order. So click on the ones that are at the bottom because those are going to be your most recent documents. On the left, you're going to see that there are bill documents. It has all of this legal language because this is the specific language that goes into the law. The bill reports are written by legislative staff. They're written in language that's much easier to understand, and it summarizes a lot of the information that had happened in the bill history. So let's look at one. You can have the title. Again, we already read the title. Then a brief description of the bill, the sponsors, and then a summary of the bill. This is so helpful for you to know whether you sponsor this bill, whether you support it or not. As you scroll down in your summary, you get the background to the bill. That background can be really important, especially if you're thinking about testifying or contacting your legislator about this bill. If you continue scrolling down, then you get a summary of if any amendments or any changes were made to the bill. And then what happened if there was any public hearing or public testimony. For this one, doesn't look like there was a public hearing in the Senate, but if there was at this time, this is where the summary of that public testimony would be. Let's go back. Below, you have the fiscal note. If your bill costs money, which most do, then they have to tell the legislators how much money it costs. And they do this by filling out a relatively complicated document called a fiscal note. It looks like this. It essentially tells you how much money this bill would cost to implement. Below the fiscal note information are amendments. Now, a bill changes over the course of its time in the legislature. Sometimes constituents write their legislators and say, hey, we really want this bill to be amended in this way or that way. Legislatures or their staff will write up that amendment and it gets proposed. The final thing that you're going to see on your bill information page are your TVW videos. As a reminder, TVW films and broadcasts on their website everything that happens in the Washington State Legislature so you can find out and watch for yourself what is happening. So right here you can see that when it was in the House Education Committee on January 15th, you could click on that link and it would take you directly to that hearing and you could watch it all on your own. So that's all the information on your bill information page. As you can see, it's a lot, and you could really go down the rabbit hole, really finding out everything that you needed to know about this bill. And I hope you do so on bills that you find are pertinent to your life and that you want to comment on. Good luck.